what road mapping is for me is I usually start looking at everyone's reports, your numbers around, I'd say the 10th. And what I'm looking for basically when I'm checking them is what your PV is, what your downline volume is, if your PV and your sales kind of match up. Um, I'm looking for numbers that will show me that that person is moving to the next, like in the direction of the next level. And then I will try to get a hold of you and tell you, like, if you were to to get to this next level, you need to do one of the following things, and I would tell you this, or this, giving you a roadmap, right? Giving you a direction on how to do it so that you know if you're trying to move to another rank or a career title, as they call it with this company, you know how to do it, right? You're not like, and I know you guys are all like moving around and stuff, but like if I asked you to raise your hands, how many of you guys can look at your numbers right now and know without 100% certain what you need to do to go to the next level? So you know by looking at your numbers, I know with team numbers and my numbers exactly what to do. So I know Sandra, we've road mapped forever. Sandra's, ranked quite a bit, but most people, Valerie has as well. Most people, when I say, okay, well, here's your my downline report, let me know what you need to do to go to your next level. People look at me like, what? I have no idea what to do. I don't even understand the comp plan and getting to the next level. So how do I know what I need to do to get there? Or they'll say, well, I know I need 4,000 DV or downline volume, and it says I'm already there, so I should have ranked. But they don't understand the max value of that. So road mapping will teach you those things. Okay. If you guys, my phones are going bananas, so I apologize for it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start. And then as people jump in, I can approve them to come in. I'm going to actually hide everyone and only put it on the screen if I can figure out. All right. So where I start, you guys, every single time I do this, where I start is on the home screen of our back office. And the report, now that we have reports, the report I pull is I will click down to reports and my downline. Okay, so reports, my downline, and then I hit this download CSV. Okay, and it will always download the actual CSV of that. Okay, once it does that, it looks like this. And I've actually whited out everyone's names on purpose. Okay, so I've turned everyone's names and ID numbers white for a reason. Okay, so you can only see numbers. So the very first thing that I do once I'm in my downline report, okay, is I will open this up. And for those of you in Excel that don't know how to sort, this right here is going to be your best gift ever given to you. It was for me. If you highlight level 1 across the whole entire screen, or that level, or that line, that row, click on sort filter and click on filter, your drop down boxes at the top now show up for every line. So if I want to filter, for instance, if I want to filter DV, okay, downline volume, I can filter from largest to smallest, and I can see who is close under downline volume for whatever I'm road mapping, okay? And I've already started one on purpose just to kind of show you. So this person right here, let me just do it this way. I'm going to look at their numbers, okay? I know that they're personally sponsored to me, which is a lot of the team. I know their current rank and their highest rank. And then this is their personal volume and this is their team volume. Okay? So DV is your team volume, your downline volume, including you. Okay? And then this PV is just you. So what I'm looking is this person is actually going for Peridot. Peridot, if you look at the compensation plan, is 4,000 downline volume. So if someone would look at this, they'd say, well, they're already there. They're already at 4,024.47. So why aren't they hitting it? Right? I don't understand. That's what I get all the time. I don't understand. Like the numbers are there. Well, I have this other spreadsheet that I work with, and it's this one that I've made, and I can put this for you guys. If you want this, you can let me know. So this would be the person's name, okay? This is today's date when I'm working on their stuff, okay? I copy the PV over from their sheet, and then I copy the DV, the downline volume, over from their sheet, okay? Now, this particular person, remember I said is going for EC right here, okay, which is peridot, all right, which is, if you look at the comp plan, that's 4,000 team volume. In our company here, it's 50%, okay? So I can bring 50% of that rank, and then my downline can collectively bring 50% of that rank, okay? But like if I brought 50% and Robin brought more than 50%, say Robin brought more than 50% and I hadn't brought exactly 50%, we still wouldn't be there. Does that make sense? Because we both cap out at 50%. So no one person can bring more than that half. So in this case, 4,000 is our number we're going for. Not one person can bring more than 2,000. Okay, does that make sense to everyone? Okay, here's what I'm looking at basically. Okay, so if we were going towards peridot, that's right here, you guys. That means 4,000 is our downline volume. Okay, 2,000 MVR means you max out. Any one person can't bring more than 2,000 for that particular one. And then you have to have at least one of your legs active. Okay. All right. So if I were to go back to my spreadsheet here, here's that person's PV. Okay. In this category, I put 2,000 because remember, that's where they max out minus what they actually brought. Okay. And what are we? They're over by 715.40. Do you see that? So they can't bring that 714 or 715.40 doesn't do anything for this rank. It will the next. Okay. Hold on, I'm still letting people in. So their downline volume is the 4,024, which is theirs plus their downlines. But they truly need 3,309.07 to hit peridot. Okay. Why? Because again, this particular person is 715 over. Are you following me? So I have to take their total downline volume minus that 715, and this is where we end up. Let me calculate correctly. So 4,000 minus 4,024 plus 715.40. That should be correct. So that is what they're off. So if we take the 691.40 plus their 3309.07, it should bring, yeah, it's a little bit over in calculations, but it should bring them in right at 4,000 where they will rank. Okay. The reason I'm using this one is if you were to look at their downline volume, guys, it already shows that they're there, right? But you have to factor in the halves. So I know that that's super, super like, I guess, a lot to digest, especially when you're new. So the biggest thing I can tell you is when you start here, okay, if you're wanting to get, let me see if I can make this larger. Yeah. So basically what you're wanting to do, and I've moved the comp plan around here, but you can pretty much make it these first 3 levels. I do have a training on every single level in the comp plan already in our guides. Okay, if you look up compensation plan training, it's there. Once you understand the compensation plan and you understand, okay, this one I have to have, me personally, I have to have 700 volume minimum, okay? But between my team and me to hit peridot or EC, I have to have 4,000. Not one person can bring more than 2,000. And one leg has to be active, okay? So obviously, if one person's bringing 2,000 or even anything, they're active. They're over 350 PV. Okay. Do you guys understand this max value or the MVR and how the max out happens? Hopefully. Okay. So, with that said, I'm going to go back here. And the first thing I usually am going to do is I'm going to sort this by PV. Okay. So, first thing I want to see is I want to rank individuals first, right? So, I will look at this side by side. Okay. I know that if I drag this wider, I can see what their ranks are. Actually, I'm going to teach you an easier way. If you want to know someone that hasn't gotten to a new level yet, you can sort their current rank. Okay. Their current rank is going to tell you where they are. And if you look over here, it tells you where they've been. So here's a good example. Here's someone that just ranked. Okay. You see how it says Topaz Senior here, but here it says Party Consultant, which means they're brand new. Okay. They hit their 2,500. They don't have a team. So 2557.25 is theirs, right? They ranked all the way to Topaz Senior Consultant by themselves. Okay. Now to get to the next rank, right, which is going to be Peridot, they cannot get there by themselves because out of 4,000 volume, they can only bring half. So that particular person has made it through these first 3 levels by themselves. In order to get to that Peridot level, they've got to bring team members. They can't do it by themselves. And then starting in the next phase, you have to actually help your team members rank up to go anywhere. Okay. So this particular person, sorry, has already ranked. Okay. I'm going to show you one that I would see that is close to. Okay. Topaz, let's see, hold on. Topaz Senior. Now, this particular person, they're at 1,520. They're going for the 4,000. Okay, here's their downline volume. They're going for their 4,000. And Topaz Senior is as high as they've been. So they've never been Peridot. Okay. So if I was road mapping this particular person, I would copy their volume, take it to my sheet, and put it here. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to the report over here. I'm going to take their downline volume. Okay. I'm going to go back to my sheet over here and put it here. Okay. Now here I do equals 2,000 because it's at that level minus whatever this number is. So this particular person, you guys, still has, before they max out at that 2,000, right, for your 4,000, they still have 479.10 that they can bring themselves before they are at that 2,000. Okay. And then if I look here, I want to figure out of that 4,000. So I'll put equals 4,000 minus this. So as a downline, they have to bring 1,081 to rank to Peridot, okay, to EC. Whoops. So with that said, okay, what I'm going to do is for this particular person, I'm going to pull out the calculator and I'm going to say, okay, 1,000.81 minus, they can bring 479.10 themselves, right? So the downline can only bring 521.71. Do you follow me? So if I was road mapping, I would say, Sandra, all right, here's your volume. Okay, you're at 1,500, you can bring 2,000. You still have 479.10 yourself. Okay. Now for the whole rank, your team would have to bring 521.71. Okay. Now, if you had team members, they may order a little bit and say you had someone order a 366 kit. 366 would come off that 521.71, right? Or say you have someone join with a 599. Boom, if you did your 479, you've already made it there. Okay, you rank. But if you just had team members and say you had 2 team members and each of them did organic ordering through the rest of the month and you did as well, just with ordering alone, because none of your team is maxed out at that 2,000, you're fine. That's why you want to remain balanced, right? You don't want all of your team members maxed because then no one can move, right? So, and when I tell you, well, the volume, like this volume doesn't matter on this rank, that 715 doesn't matter. However, if we go to the next rank, because she hit this, she now has 2715 towards, if we're going for 7,000 and the next rank, 3,500 is your half. She has room now, right? So at this rank, that might be a stop block for her because she needs to balance that from other places. But the next rank up, it matters, right? So I hear people all the time. So there's really nothing I can do to help this situation. Sure. Because hopefully you're not wanting to stop here, right? Hopefully your next rank is what you're looking at on your next step. But across the board, 30% of your team will remain active. Like people drop off for life reasons, they give up on themselves, whatever the reasons, okay? It's going to take too long to build, it's too hard, whatever the case, 30% will remain active. Well, if you have 3 team members and you don't build anyone else, eventually those people are going to drop off and you're going to end up back with you again, starting all over, and you're not going to maintain. So you guys will hear me, and anyone that's been here since the beginning has heard me say it over and over. You want this to organically happen, because if you force it and you push someone to make this rank and you push that person to make this rank, and then no one grows the next month, you won't maintain that number because people can't keep pushing unless they're growing, which this is what I'm looking at as a leader. And leaders, this is what I challenge you to look at. Okay. I can see sales here. Okay. So if I see like this person's brand new building their inventory, but if I see this and this multiple months a row, or this 0 sales and this person's brand new as well, or this and this, they better be brand new doing that, because if they're going and spending $6 to $2,000 to $3,000 every month with 0 sales or $13 in sales, I, as a leader, should be reaching out saying, hey, what's your goal? Or I'm reaching down to my front line, and this has happened with multiple of my leaders, where I'm going, hey guys, SOS, you might want to get a hold of so-and-so and ask them what their business plan is, because they're ordering an ungodly amount of jewelry, but their sales are 0. So we don't want them going completely into debt. And then the answer back I'll get is, oh, well, they were just buying one of everything in the birthday collection. Okay, well, that makes sense. Okay, makes perfect sense. An exclusive came out, they bought one of everything. But then if that keeps happening the next month, and then the next month, and you're like, what are you doing? Like, we teach you to sell and reinvest, not buy $5,000 worth of bling, and jewelry every month, and you're not selling it, right? And then as a leader, you can only go and offer that advice enough, and then, it won't be for lack of not trying, okay? So when I'm road mapping, I'm looking at a couple things. I'm looking at what their volume is. Okay, where are they going to rank? If they're in that first 3 levels, it only matters on their volume. Seriously, it only matters up to 2,500. It only matters on theirs. So this particular one here hit Topaz Senior with no team. Okay, so did this one here. Hit Topaz Senior with no team, right? But then if they're going past Topaz Senior Consultant to Peridot is when I start focusing on the whole downline volume and looking for, where are they maxed? Are they maxed out? Is their team maxed out? Or can they pull volume from every way? Because 9 out of 10 times what's going to happen is like those 2 that I just spotlighted. Those 2 ranked and their leader ranked after them because those 2 got their rank. And with Bomb Party's great system, you don't rank. I mean, you rank after your people. You have to have a certain amount of people at certain levels or you can't move. right? So hopefully that part makes sense. Okay. Your report again is my downline report. You download it to Excel, and then you do what you need to do as far as filtering it. And if you're doing this with your team and you get stuck, all you have to do is say, Danielle, like, I need help. I'm road mapping my team and I'm stuck on this part. Or come back to this training and hopefully I answered it, but hopefully I didn't. Okay. So those are as far as the ranks. Okay. The other thing that I'm looking for too is your fast start bonuses. So I'm actually looking, you guys, to see who has hit their fast starts, right? So I can take this join date, put it newest to oldest. I can go back because technically it's the last 90 days. So I can uncheck 2019, uncheck. Well, I'm going to leave 2019 because some people it's showing that they joined in 2019. And that means that they bought as a customer in 2019 and used the same email. Okay. So I want to look at the last 90 days. Okay, plus this. So I'm gonna sort that down and only those people are gonna pop up. Okay. Then I'm gonna filter their volume. Okay. And I want to see with those people who is one hitting Topaz Senior, so they hit their first fast start. So these two girls right here, what she's hit her fast start for the second month. And then this one right here, they all hit their first level of fast start. Okay. Now, so I will let them know. Also, the $2,000 percentage here, you guys, I'm going back here where I changed the comp plan and moved it around on purpose for you guys. Okay. So this is normally on the bottom. People get this confused with sales or team. Okay. So I actually flopped them. So this is purely off of your sales with no team. This is all team building and leadership down here. So when someone hits 2000 volume, they automatically get their personal sales bonus of 5%. A lot of time, people don't even know that they got that, right? They don't know that they hit it. Or it could be the close to the end of the month. And they could be, I'm going to give you an example. They could be this guy right here at 1886.40. Well, that person is, hang on, 2000 minus 1886.40. So that person is 113.60 away from their first 5% cash back, which means 5% of all of their volume for the whole month back to the first. So if I didn't say, hey, guys, like Mickey Mouse, you are this close, you are 113 away from your 5% bonus, just wanted to let you know, right? Whatever that is to them, I don't want them to miss it if that's been their goal was to get there. Does that make sense? And a lot of times people just miss it by not even looking. They don't know, right? Or they don't know that they're going to get to the 5,000 PV, which will get them the 7% or the 8%, or the 7,000 that bumps you to 10%. So the bonuses, I will reach out to those individuals and say, hey, heads up, you're this close from your bonus, your 5% bonus, just wanted to give you a heads up, right? You will never get from me, and you shouldn't get from any leader, girl, you need to go buy jewelry. You're almost there. Like, go buy jewelry, do whatever you can, go buy. No, go make some sales, because if you go make some sales, and ask Sandra, ask Terry, they were on the verge of ranking one month, and we stopped my live sale. I took a night off and I put them on the TV behind me and told all of my customers, go buy from them right now. This one's rallying right now, go get them. Then the next one, this one's rallying, go get them. Go buy there. I'd rather you go buy there and support them. And all of them hit their goals, right? So if you're that close to where you're like dollars from missing it, we're going to rally. We're going to do whatever we need to do to make you move, right? Because your sales give you the money to reinvest. I'm not saying go ask your husband if you can buy $200 worth of jewelry, right? I'm saying go sell it. Let's go share your sale and do whatever we can do to get you to sell so you can reinvest. Okay? Makes sense? Hopefully. All right. So are you guys understanding the My Downline report that you're looking at a couple things here? You're looking at, you can sort their volume, of course, okay, by largest to smallest or vice versa, okay? I'm going to unsort all of these things, okay? So you can sort their volume, you can sort them by join date if you want to see all the new people. You can sort here by who has the most active consultants on their line. Okay. So you can sort any of these categories, but what I normally pay attention to is if I want to see who's close to ranking or someone that has ranked, I sort the rank because it will show me what their career is, which is the highest level they've hit versus where they are right now. So if I see a Topaz Senior and the other one says party consultant, that means they've never been there. That's their first time, right? This next one down, Topaz Party. That means they're active. Next one, Topaz Lead. That means they hit the 1500. They ranked to Topaz Lead. So if you're looking at all those people, that's when you can go back and give your team some shout outs. And I'm telling you, all of you probably know this. Recognition is one of the most important things to human beings. And that's across the board. If you are doing well and you are busting your tail, someone saying, I'm proud of you, you're doing great, or just acknowledging that step, like, for instance, going live with the team last Friday and shouting out everyone from being active all the way to, whatever our highest ranking person right now in moving is. All the way across the board, it's important to me. Because how do you know that that person getting active this month, that is their 100% the very best thing they can do, right? That's all they got to bring this month, right? They had something happen and that's all they got. Or they are just building their business and that is a major undertaking, right? Or they get to Topaz lead and that is like freaking throw off the fireworks. As a human being and leaders as your team, as you see this with your team, that recognition means $1 million to someone that someone's always told them they couldn't do it. That recognition to someone that they felt that they weren't doing enough that day and they weren't good enough. And they get that shout out and they're like, I'm awesome. Like, go me. I am so proud of myself. I'm going to the next level of what I want to do. Right? Baby steps are huge steps in everyone's business. We're all sitting in different situations and different storms and different, seasons and different runs. At the end of the day, the legacy of diamonds, we're building a legacy of diamonds, and everybody's got a different timeline on how they get there. My goal is to build a legacy of diamonds with all of you. And I don't care if you get there in 5 months or 5 years. My goal is to build a legacy of diamonds. We all get there at different times, right? God didn't build every one of us the same. If we did, we'd be robots and we'd all accomplish the same things. So whether you're doing like shout out to Val just did a relaunch. She had situations happen in life and she had to fall back and handle real life. And she said, you know what, Danielle, I'm going to do a relaunch. I said, freaking go you. And then I sat from the back and watched because I didn't want to be the one that jumped in and threw the shares out there. I wanted to see what she did. And she hit what, second tier of the hostess party? Second freaking tier of the hostess party after not being here for a while and relaunching. That is a major win, y'all. Like, that's a major win. She has a new background. She is ready to freaking kill it. You know what I mean? So sometimes you have to take a step back. You've got Jen, step back, handle real life. Nothing wrong with relaunching. I can't even tell you with the last company how many freaking relaunch and rebuilds I did. It's too many to count, to be honest with you. Things, I had to redo and kind of regroup a lot of times, right? Because maybe this wasn't working anymore, or this wasn't working anymore. Across the board, every one of us on the screen, me included, growing your network is what every one of us has to do to grow. Okay. Until you have physically gone on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram and physically typed in a message on the timeline to every friend and follower on your friends list and said, "Oh, your baby looks so cute," or "Oh my God, look at the dog," or "Oh my God, happy birthday," or, genuine things, until you've physically typed in a message to every single person that is on your Facebook friends and your Facebook followers, you got work to do. That's me every day. I'm like, I got work to do because Facebook's not going to show me to those people until I'm making a connection, until there's dialogue happening. So trust me when I tell you, go and reach out. But at the end of the day, when you start moving, my front line, I want you to learn how to look at your team's numbers and say, okay, this person's volume is getting close to this level. That means that they're fixing to hit their fast start bonus. Or that means that if they hit Topaz Senior, that's their fast start, the first fast start, right? If they hit 2000 volume, that's their first bonus as far as sales, right? That's 5%. So two different things. Sales bonus, fast start. Okay. Sales bonus happens every month. Fast start happens for the first 90 days plus the month that they joined as additional time. So for instance, if Pamela joined my team on the 15th, her fast start doesn't start until April 1st. But she still gets the 15 days of March to go for it too. So she's getting April, May, and June plus 15 days of March because the month you join doesn't count against you. Makes sense? It goes on top. You have 3 full months. So just keep that in mind that there's the personal sales bonus and then there's your fast start. Okay. And then if we're looking at rank, you're looking at their volume for the first 3 levels. And then starting at Peridot, you're looking at the whole downline volume and where 50% comes into play. Okay. I promise you, the more you do it and the more you study these numbers, at the 10th, I start and I look every day. If you're looking at your bank account every day, you know what clears and what doesn't and what's coming, right? If you look at your team numbers every day, especially when you have just a handful, you see when people move because all of a sudden their numbers changed. And you're like, girl, you're almost there. 99% of the time, you don't even know that you're getting ready to do something next, right? And you'll go tell your team, and they're like, oh, I am? What I need to do? And then that's when you help them with the roadmap. Okay.